So welcome everybody to the Dowsing and Energy Healing Master class. Thanks for dropping in and getting a sense of what we do here. This is a 6-month course. It's $333 US, and we meet once a week every Friday. If that doesn't fit with your schedule, we can try and rearrange the schedule so you can attend in person, which is really the fun way to do this, because then you get to ask all sorts of questions that I get to answer. And of course, some of us have already been through the course, so you'll have co-teachers this time around. So Tony is just finishing the course, and he can talk about his experience. And Laura's been through the course, and Crystal was through the course the year before. And for those that didn't hear, Crystal got a special opportunity of doing it one-on-one with me, so we got to go anywhere and everywhere that Crystal wanted to go. So we spent a lot of time on what I would call working with the Diva and landscape energies, doing sacred ceremonies. So we did a lot more work in what the new course is called geomancy, or boots on the ground geomancy. So that's another course, but Crystal also learned how to do the dowsing and energy healing as well. So we have 2 classes here of graduates, and all the graduates are can take the course again for free. And the beauty of that is they can also help do the co-teaching as well. So Crystal, why don't you say a bit about your experience?
Hi everybody. Well, when I reached out to Tyson, I was I had lost it. I just couldn't, I was overwhelmed with energies. It was really horrible. I was at a point where I probably would have lost my marriage. I talked to Laura, and I told Laura that I honestly believe that Tyson saved my life. And I thought I was going to find someone that was going to do it for me, just fix it. And just amazing, life-changing. Tyson, I just love you.
Yeah, I love you
too, for showing up.
Thank you for doing all the work.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. It's just been a phenomenal experience.
Yeah, with Crystal, the exciting thing was to get Crystal stabilized, because she's very psychic and very gifted, to get her stabilized and learn how to manage her energy system. And then we turned around and worked on her family, which was her husband, who was having a hard time relating to what was going on. And then we were able to broaden it out, and she was able to actually make contact with her family. That, if I got it right, Crystal, they never really met you before, and you were really worried about going to meet them, and we cleared all that energy. And when you went with your son, you were welcomed with open arms, and everybody was so excited to meet you. And yeah, so we've dealt with a lot of a lot of family trauma. We cleared a lot of family trauma. So it's beneficial for her son, and that she's welcome in the family. And so, yeah, it was exciting. And we did a lot of work. Crystal at that time was off the grid, so she was in a really unique experience in nature, so we could do a lot of nature work. We did ceremonial wheels, and we helped talk to the landscape divas and did sacred work with the landscape and water blessings and all sorts of things like that. And then when Crystal was able to move back into town, we then created a ceremonial place there so she could connect still with nature and have all those skills that she developed readily available through a magnificent oak tree that's in her front or backyard. I'm not sure which part of the yard it's in. Is it the backyard or the front yard?
It's in the front yard.
In the front
Can I
yard.
share something real quick? I'll try to make it a minute.
Absolutely. Yeah, go ahead.
My tree? So my tree's in the front yard, an oak tree.
Oh, it's Tyson.
And
Are you trying to get on?
Yeah.
All right, so It's 250. Are you coming on through Zoom?
She's using I gave her the number, but she's calling it rather than using it as the code. It's the code, not to call you, but
Yeah.
to use it
So
as the
use
phone
it.
or the,
Use. Okay, great. So
Okay,
punch in the
great.
code and join. All right, bye. All right, sorry, Crystal, go for it.
Oh yeah, no worries. My oak tree.
Yeah.
So I had this moment where I was praying I was demanding a miracle. And I was like, you better make sure that it's a good one because I'm not that smart and I don't want to miss it. You know, you got to make it big. I want confirmation from the universe, right? So I was outside in the front yard and I had a pink talking bird fly into my life that says, I love you. Like, I don't know, 4 to 10 times a day, and what you doing, and hey baby, and she's my miracle. And she came from that tree, my
Wow,
oak tree. She flew down from my oak tree.
amazing.
Yeah, she's my precious gift from my
Wow,
tree.
that's quite the story.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. She was in the wild
not getting the right
for a week.
number.
go ahead. So Laura, are you still there? Oh, there you are.
Yeah, sorry, I'm keep getting texts from people who don't like.
So Laura, what was your experience besides trying to coordinate everybody to get on this call?
Oh, you mean in the class
Yeah,
itself?
that class that you come.
So, yeah, the class. So the class, like, I mean, I've been working in this business for 20 years, and I found very few people that I learned very much from until I met Tyson. And I would get, a few things here and there, but nothing that was compiled like this. That is in like, well, the booklet, right? That pamphlet that we got, and then all of the different videos. And I got to meet a lot of different, and get to work with now Harold McCoy, who's like a huge member of my team. Like, I feel really honored to be able to work with him now. And he's passed on, which is like even cooler. That's why I get to work with him. And then I also got to work with Tony, and Tony, of course, is on here now. Hi, Tony.
Yeah, Tony's alive. Tony's up there. He's one of the live.
Yep. And he and I like took it to a whole different level and started working together, and it has been.
What, you froze.
And it's how this class then has moved on to where it is now, don't you think? Whoops. Can you still hear me though?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, because I'm traveling, I apologize. So the class has taken like a whole new thing with like working with Tony, and I working together is amazing. And Tony is a great practitioner of pranic healing, and he's really good, and he's taught me a lot about like what his understanding of things along with Tyson, and it's just been an amazing opportunity. But I gotta go because all these people keep texting me.
All right.
So I better figure out where they are because I think they want to join. Hold on.
All right, so you go figure that out. So Tony, you want to talk about your experience?
Sure.
Okay, hold on for 1 second. I'm sorry, Tony.
All right.
What's her face? Laura, Barbara Birch would like to get in.
All
She
right.
says she's in right now.
Okay, I don't see Barbara Birch here yet. I do see Debbie, I see Karen, I see Linda, Crystal, and there's an iPhone. This is you, and there's Tony, and there's, oh yeah, there's Matthew. So Matthew is can talk, and there's somebody called Hawaii.
Do you know what the Zoom?
So I'll make her a co-host. So there should be, everybody should be able to be in. Some got their cameras off. Matthew's got his camera off. You've got your camera off. Crystal's, yeah, so I think everybody's in. Oh, there's Barbara. So Barbara's in and she's unmuted, but she doesn't have her camera on. Can you hear us, Barbara?
What? Okay.
Yes, I can. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, I can't hear you. Good. Okay, I think we got everybody. So you keep collecting them out there, which is, if there's anybody else wanting. Okay, so let's let Tony say what it's been like for him.
Hello, everybody. And I've been interested in energy healing and dowsing for quite some time. But this course actually takes dowsing to a new depth, and got introduced to different dowsers, famous ones. The one that I really enjoyed reading by is John Living. And John Living actually had his own method of dowsing. But I would like to add one thing to dowsing. You know, it's really science dowsing, because it really is close to science right now. And the thing about dowsing is that I learned that you can use dowsing for all kinds of things, for all kinds of things. In fact, when I watched Mike Dooney, I learned that he used dowsing for hunting, which I had no idea that you can do that, but in fact you can. You can do dowsing to find out about leaky water leaks in underground. You can move streams. Really, really very interesting stuff. The one that I really enjoyed was how to do distant dowsing, because I've always done distant healing, but I had no idea you can do distant dowsing. But yes, actually you can do distant dowsing. So I learned a lot about dowsing, on top of the things that I accumulated before I took Tyson's class. But something that I would like to add, which is I think very important, Tyson makes himself available to all of us. We can call him anytime, provided that he is at the office, he's not traveling. And he's always available to answer questions and to provide answers and explain things. I never saw him being irritated before a question. He's always asking us, difficult questions. He wants difficult questions, So
the tougher the better.
The tougher the better. But so the class I recommend the class really seriously for anybody who's really interested in truly learning about dowsing, and dowsers too, the famous dowsers. And I think that I'd like to add one more thing is you can do also pendulum dowsing with healing, which is one of my interests. And I've been using this for quite some time now. The one pendulum that I really like is the Ptah pendulum, which I use almost every day for all kinds of situations. It's very interesting, a very powerful pendulum. So yeah, I mean, it's a course that opened my mind to all kinds of knowledge. Got good support from Tyson, which I think is wonderful. And I tell you, it is true $333, but it's really worth it, really worth it. And something else I would like to add is that, we met only 1 hour, but so the burden is on us to really go and do research and read, and we always manage to get questions back and ask questions about the things we read. And Tyson was always ready to clarify and explain things and recommend more, books that we could benefit from reading. So yes, I think I recommend the class very highly. And thank you, Tyson.
And thank you very much. We are about to do the next go around for a 6-month go around, and Darlene just joined us, and she's a new student in the group. There she is. Hi, Darlene. So she's beginning the journey. So what's your expectations, Darlene?
My expectations is to join masters like you and everybody else on this group, and to collaborate together, and being able to make a difference in the world. And we can always learn and bounce off of each other for new ideas and new tools, and that's my intention, I think.
Yeah, it's a good intention. And she's already teaching within the academy. Why don't you just give a shout out about what you and Michael are doing?
So we're teaching, it's called Path to Freedom from Abusive Relationships. So really helping people tie back into that self-love and that value, and understanding how beliefs and things that we've experienced as children affect how we're showing up in life and what we're attracting in. And a lot of times we end up in these abusive relationships because it's familiar. We're taught, not to be powerful. We're taught to be in fear and in control and suppressed. So then that's kind of what shows up.
Yeah, and behind her is this famous dog named Louie, who lives with us. We're all cohabitating in this time of COVID virus, and so that's the famous dog Louie, who lives with us along with our cat. So I'm excited to have her in the course. She's a very, very intuitive, gifted healer. She's also a massage therapist. So I really get some nice work, deep work done on me. And also, she's very, very good at working at a distance with animals, extremely gifted in that, and is trained in that area. So she's bringing her own set of skills, which is really part of this this group, is that you come with your own set of skills. It could be Reiki, it could be other energetic healing techniques, and dowsing just provides another opportunity to broaden your capacity to be more effective with the other dowsing energy tools that you bring to this course. So this is like an add-on to one other energy healing that you are already familiar with. And I encourage you to have as many of those as you feel comfortable. So I'm trained in Access and Theta, in heart resonance, and sacred body, and I could go on and on and on and on. Way too many things, work with divine mother energies. But for me, the dowsing is sort of and energy healing is sort of the overarching umbrella in which I can play with all these tools, because it helps me receive guidance on demand. And the more I douse, the more my guidance was allowed to become on full stream, so to speak, and the less I needed to use dowsing tools. And maybe Laura, I know you have to go at some point, maybe you could talk about the other way around, whereas Laura's 4th generation psychic.
Yeah.
And so she's already got this ability that I moved into. So what does dowsing do for you, seeing as you already had this ability to tune into source?
Well, it was really confusing at first, because I felt like a fish out of water. So I was learning, like, I'm almost backwards, and I would just put it down and be like, oh, forget it. Like, I get answers faster this way, but I was also missing a lot, like percentages, and like you can be much more accurate with like asking questions and stuff. Just a little bit. No, just a few minutes. Okay. So it was frustrating at first, and like Tyson and Tony and the rest of the people in the group were so good at dowsing, and I was just like completely lost. And then once I think Tyson was like, basically you're doing it backwards, and I figured out, then I like I don't know if I just relaxed about it, because I think I was just being really hard on myself with it too. And now it's like number-based questions and time-based questions. What else? Like,
one of the other things is that you were When you came in and we first met, you were having trouble trusting your guidance. You were sort of overwhelmed with, I guess I'll just say entities. There was something blocking you. And so that you weren't trusting your guidance. So we had to clean that out first and then get you back on track so that you could trust the guidance again.
Yeah, what's that? What do they call that? The dark night of the soul. That's what I was going through.
Yeah, you're in the dark.
And I couldn't, right? And I couldn't find any. I kept looking for people to help me, and nobody could help me. No one. And I went back to church. I can't even explain to you. Like church would, and this healer from the church would help me for a little while, but then I just get inundated again. And then Ashley, another person who's doing the deep cleaning protocol, her and I were kind of going through the same thing at the same time. And Yvonne was there too. Is Yvonne on the call yet? Are you on yet, Yvonne?
Yeah, she's waving. So I must.
Okay.
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, good. She was actually at my house when I was going through it, like when I very first started it, and she saw, that was the first time when I wasn't letting this pendulum spin all the way out, Tyson. And she'd be like, you have rainbows spinning around you right now. And I was like, that's so cool. I was like, I feel so much better. And she was with me for like 3 days, and I was like, this is so cool. And immediately, I mean, when I called him, I thought I was just going to end it, because I couldn't deal with it anymore. I was literally at the end. And then today, when it's just so weird that this happened just today, right before my sister and I left, my dad came in and said to me, because she's been doing the deep cleaning protocol, and something came into her last night and said, because she kept getting these night terrors, and she said, what I figured out, Laura, is that these entities were trying to like cut my feet off. And she said, no more. And she showed it to me, and there was one of her toenails are black. And she like kicked them out. And I said, Dad, is this thing still attached to her? And he said, yes. And I said, can you remove it? And he said, no. And I said, can Sarah remove it? And he said, no. And I said, can I remove it? And he said, yes. So then I started removing it, and I literally saw this when I was removing it with the,
Oh.
And so when I was done, when I was done, right? When I was done, I said, my dad said, because he's passed on, but he talks to me. He said, you can remove the devil out of people. And I was like, holy crap. And it was the first time that I ever knew. I think what I got was that the devil's been trying to like get me to commit suicide for a really long time. And he can't do it anymore because I'm untouchable now because of Tyson. I'm untouchable. Thank you, Tyson. I'm going to start crying.
It's not me. I really want to make this clear.
Yes. You are the one who channeled this energy. And I understand what you're saying because I feel the same way you do. I don't do this, God does. Like I let it flow through, right?
Right.
But we have to, as human beings, know that we have done a lot of work to get where we are right now in order for God to be able to trust us to have this work. And I know he sent me to you at the exact moment, at the exact time, because he wanted to be like, are you sure you're going to really work for me, Laura? Are you sure? Are you sure? And yeah, I'm sure. But I swear if I didn't have the deep cleaning protocol, I'm just like Crystal, I would have killed myself. I wouldn't be here right now. I know it. I couldn't handle it anymore. And no religion, no nothing.
I mean, we're really fortunate that we're part of a lineage that goes back through time immemorial. The lineage of dowsers as it passed this on from generation to generation to generation. You know, some of them were druids, some of them were magicians, some of them were alchemists. some of them were, different names, saints, and some of them are probably sinners, but they all had the ability to use tools like dowsing rods and pendulums and forked sticks, ways to which they could heighten their awareness to listen to source consciousness or to God energy. And for that, I'm truly grateful. I feel so fortunate that in my life, I really didn't have to go anywhere. They came to my doorstep through the Canadian Quester Society or the American Dowsing Society. And some of them actually came here and lived with me before they passed on. So I feel really gifted with this repository of information that was given to me. And some of the information, like John Living, he's still living, but he's passed this all on to me. So I have his body of information. I have Richard Kutz's, all of his teaching materials were passed on to me. So like I have this repository of information that I feel so fortunate. And my goal is to give it away, is to teach the next generation to know how this body of information can really help them take back their personal power and become sovereign human beings, especially at this time of planetary transformation. And for me, we're really in the midst of what we all incarnated for, and having this body of information can help so many people know what's true for them and what isn't true, so they can make intelligent decisions for them and their families as we go through these very trying times. So that's where I'm coming from and what my passion is. So I really thank you for those who've been through the course, for encouraging those that are looking at the possibility of doing this course. We welcome you to join us. And yeah, I get to learn so much. And like I said, the tougher the questions, the better, right? Because Laura and I and Tony, we literally have to go inward and ask, and then we get the information flowing through us. So it's like we get to go to school too.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I have a question. How, I was really interested when Crystal was talking, because this is something I've been thinking about relative to the course. How customized can it be to the areas of interest? Like, she was very interested in working with the Davis. Other people might be interested in other things. So, or like, clearing spaces or things like that, or distant healing. So, I mean, how is it, do you have a set curriculum that everybody goes through, or can people kind of pick out and then really explore certain areas?
That's a great question. I try and keep a balance between the two, because some are left brain and want to know what the course curriculum is, and I don't have a course curriculum. So I have to sort of have to fake it, right? However,
are you saying I'm left-brained?
no, I'm not
Okay.
saying that at all. I'm saying like with boots on the ground geomancy, my first student there, I drove her nuts, because I would say, okay, what's up? What do you want to talk about? Because I was used to working with Crystal. We had no body of information, or we had no curriculum. I just said, Crystal, what do you want to learn today? And it spontaneously would come. So we would go wherever Crystal wanted to go. So whatever she learned, she got to learn, right? So for me, that was exciting. But for somebody who's coming from their, from their left brain, the right brain, or whichever brain, their analytical brain, that's not good enough. They want to see the curriculum. So for the boots on the ground, I created a curriculum. I went over to Richard Feather Anderson, who's done this before. I stole his curriculum outline. I got hold of Richard and said, Richard, would you mind if I use your curriculum outline? He says, no, go right ahead. So we have a curriculum outline for that course, which is good, because we can go through and check off whether we've covered it. But my love is just what's up in your life, what's happening with you, what do you want to learn? That's really how I teach.
Yeah, well, that's more how I operate. And I think I told you about that's how I also worked with students. What do you want to learn? So I like the idea of not having a set curriculum, because inevitably there are going to be some areas that you're going to tune out, or I'm not really that not interested in that, but this is what I really want to know. So I'm glad to see that there's basically the question, the ultimate question, what do you want to learn?
So how about other people, like other people here that are thinking, well, wait a minute, that's not how I'd like to learn. I need to have some sort of curriculum. Are there's people that here now that would like to have some of that too, because we can do the balance between it. Like we do, like for today, we were supposed to review Mike Donnie's video. And I have to confess, I get really busy, but I got halfway through it before this class, and he's a master teacher. So we usually have a body of information that we're supposed to have got to and thought about and gone through that gives us the basis to talk about. And then we open up to then to questions and answers, and then go wherever we need to go, depending on everybody's interest. But we usually do have something that we're focused on. So we try and keep the balance between the two. When we start off this course, we will do John's Distant Healing Manual, which is literally a manual with protocols in it. And we'll go through those protocols and talk about why those protocols are important and how you can use them. So that's very, very structured, that first part of the course. Then we move from a very structured background into more free flow like we're talking about now. Any other questions?
I'd like to say something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is that me?
Yeah, that's you.
The best part of the class, I think, is when Tony and I started to work together. And like when you do up teams, and Tyson and I had a long conversation last weekend about we get very, very difficult clients. And Tyson and I come together and we work together on them. And now we want to start a group that is basically master healers that will come in and take these people that are extremely difficult. And I'm not talking about ones that he can do on his own, or I can do on my own, or Tony can do on his own, but the ones that literally we need master healers to come together. And that's what I believe that this class is about, is forming, bringing together people who are actual master healers, bringing all of your energies in. And even if you're like a beginner healer, right? You're holding that energy for the rest of us is going to be really important. And I believe that it's going to be like where so much is going to be learned and understood. What do you think, Tyson?
Yeah, I really agree with that. I've been told for a long time that the time of the lone wolf is over. We have to do this as a group. And so I'm excited about that, because since the 60s and 70s, I worked in groups, both in intentional communities and other, I've worked even at the United Nations with groups. So I'm interested in group action and helping people come together in tune into the resonant field. And if you want to have a feeling of what that's like, Shelley and Darley and I co-host a show every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Pacific time. You go to the Good of the Whole, and just come in and feel what that is, to tap into the resonant field of Mother Earth and the energy of being in a collective. And it's just luscious energy, because when you're on the same wavelength, what you can do as a group is really unbelievable. So I'm looking forward to not only doing this one-to-one teaching, but getting to the level of us working as a group, as a co-creative group. That's the next level that would come out of this course when we have enough people joining us. So I'm hoping that the new people coming in, that we'll be able to do that right away. And that upper level work would be clearing clients from all of us that we just can't seem to get through on our own, because we're getting very tough cases as the energy level on the planet increases. The amount of demonic or unresolved, or whatever you want to call them, forces are wanting to be cleared, or needing to be cleared out of the people, especially those healers that are triggered to come online now. I know this might sound weird, but there are a lot of things going on, and a lot of healers where they've got themselves loaded up with entities because they weren't ready to step into their power and truth right now, because the planet wasn't ready for them. This just came through. This is new to me. I've never really thought about it. So our job is to find these people and help them get out of those shackles so they can come online, because we need their services. Like, these are high-level healers that have got themselves in trouble. Okay,
Like I was. Yep.
like you, for
Yep.
example.
And Crystal. And
And
Crystal.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so
Well,
that,
can I
go ahead.
say something too?
Absolutely.
I have I have told Laura that. So additionally, the reason that I contacted Laura was past year maybe. I've been feeling overwhelmed with being tired, and it was just getting worse and worse and worse, and I could hardly even, I was sleeping all the time. I could hardly even move. I couldn't do anything, and I'm like, what is going on? And I knew I couldn't go to a doctor because I knew they would just run a blood test, and then the blood test would probably be fine, and then I would come home and I would still have this feeling. And I wasn't really telling anybody because I thought I was bringing it on. And so Laura sent out a email or a text. I had seen Laura for a reading about 3 years ago, and she sent out a text like 3 weeks ago, and she said, this is not to get appointments. I am just thinking about all of you, and I just want to make sure you're safe. And I just want to make sure that you're doing okay. And that message, it touched me so much. And so out of the blue, I texted her and I said, Laura, would you mentor me? Would you help me? And she didn't remember who I was. She didn't know where I was coming from. She said, absolutely. And so she said, to go clearing, we have to get your energy high enough. And so I feel 100% better. I do not feel tired anymore. I'm waking up at 6:30. So I just thought that was pretty incredible.
That is incredible. So congratulations for coming back online, so to speak. And I'm so excited because each one of you that comes back online, you're really here to learn to turn around and help the next group. Like this, my fantasy is that if we have 12 people, 12 around one, which is the magic number. If you think about, of Christ with the disciples, or you think about 12 crystal skulls around one, or you think of the Knights Templar, or if you think of Avalon, all of this 12 around one. It's in the Bible. If we have 12 people that learn how to do this and how to do their own class of 12, we have 12 times 12 and we get to 144,000. And if you've looked at the Bible, that's a magic number. So to me, this is part of an equation of communication, of sacred geometry that we're learning to embody. And when we do that, that means all of the forces, elemental and angelics, want to play with us because we're giving them the signature keys and codes that we're ready to play with these new energies, because they can't gift this energy just to anybody. They have to gift this energy to a group that has the responsibility for handling this as a sacred vortex or a sacred, a crucible, in order to create that phoenix, that rising energy to do transmutation. So that's, to give you the big, huge vision of what I would love to do as a group. Now, when I say that, I'm only talking about coordinating this and teaching you to be a coordinator. This is not Tyson being the guru. I've played the minor guru before, and I can tell you, don't do that. Because when you have to wake up from doing that, it's very bumpy. So I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about helping you learn how to be a facilitator of energy so you can turn around and help your group do the same. Is that the spirit dog that's agreeing with us? One of the dogs out there is this big.
No, it's another dog. But I do know that Debbie Summers is on here. She's the other iPhone. I just figured it out.
Okay.
And Debbie, you said that you have these gifts and you don't, and so much energy and you don't know what to do with it. That's what this is all about. That's what this
Yeah,
class is all about.
that's what I figured.
There you are.
Hi.
Hi.
It's me. Yeah, the one that is just so full of all the energy because I received this gift a couple of weeks ago and I don't know what to do with it now. So I'm gonna have to take examples from each and every one of you and see what I've been blessed with. Today I was telling you, I feel like I'm being pulled north, south, east, and west right now, and it's not scary. I'm very calm about it, which you know that's unusual over the last 5 years.
So weird
But
because I've never seen you this calm before, ever. And I keep waiting for her to freak out again, and she's not.
No, it's like I used to be, and then I lost it. But I didn't know I had it even then until now. And it was a little freaky when I was driving those 2 nights and saw those things, but I had that under control too. But like I said, I'm here to learn how to use my gift.
Great. Yeah, this is what this is all about, is we all have these superhuman gifts, call them the clairs, and this is your opportunity to learn how to use them, and part of it is to get out of your way. I do have another mastermind that's underway, and that's fundamentally what that one's about, is for those that are actually trying to create a business from their gifts that they have, but they're still in their own way. So it's a mastermind group. But if there's nothing to say that if that's what we need to do in this group, that we can't do that as well. So yeah, we're here to help you get from where you are to where you want to be in the shortest amount of time, whatever that is that you want to do. So if if it's because you want to do your healing at the personal level, or you want to do it with your family, or you want to do it with your clients, or you want to do it for the planet, or you want to clear land and buildings, or we can help you, or even look for water and do that. We can help you do the skills that you want. It's a broad enough title, right? Master in Dowsing and Energy Healing. It pretty well includes everything that you could ever imagine. And now there is a separate course on the geomantic work with earth energies, angelic energies, and divas, but there's no reason we can't pull that information into this one too, if that's a body of information that's important for people in this group. So in summary is we can go anywhere and everywhere to deal with getting your own needs met. Okay, and basically too, how to manage your energy field when your Kundalini is just like running full bore. How do you deal with all that energy? How do you ground it? How do you manage it? How do you not get overwhelmed? All right, any more questions? I know there's some people on chat here that we're trying to say.
I wanted to ask, I'm sorry, I don't remember her name. Karen, was it, that you said she was
Yes.
just tired and sleeping all the time? And then
Yes.
what did Laura do with you that you got your energy back?
She did the deep cleaning protocol.
Yeah. Yep. I
You did
started.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been committed to it. I've been doing it every day. And I probably noticed a difference maybe day 3. I just noticed that I didn't have
Good.
this blanket over me, that I always just felt that I could just lay on the floor and take a nap. It was what an agonizing way to live.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I've kind of
So-
experienced something similar to having energy that I'm not quite sure, I guess after just starting the protocol. So I was wondering if my question was, if that's what you were doing.
So I have a question here and I don't know if we answered, from somebody who said, I'm new to all this and I feel so full of energy and don't know what to do with all my new gifts. Did we answer that one?
Yeah, that was me.
Okay, that was you. That's what I thought, but I just want to make sure we got everybody covered. Okay.
I have a question, Tyson.
Okay.
I way back when, so this is kind of even probably before I really started my spiritual journey. My daughter would see, I'm just going to start there, but she would see ghosts and things, and she'd be sleeping at a friend's house, and she'd say, "Mom, I can't go to sleep. They're all just like staring down at me." So I'd kind of just go there with my energy and do a like, bah, and like just blanket her with a hug, and they'd be gone, and she'd go to sleep. Well, anyways, later on, it started to happen that I would be sleeping, and it was like something had me pinned down, and I couldn't get up, so I couldn't move my body. And so that was really scary. And as soon as I called out angels, help me, it was just instantly gone. And then this other time that it happened, it didn't go away so quick, but I thought, well, maybe it was just a loved one come to visit and wasn't such a, I was just in a fear mode. So I thought that's a possibility. And one other time it happened that because I was a care aide and I'd stay with the person overnight, I had to just make sure they didn't fall down when they got out of bed or something like that. So I kind of could stay in the semi-awake sleep state. And the light in the bathroom had kind of went on and off. And then I went to sleep, and the same thing happened, that I felt like there's something behind me, but I couldn't move my body. And I was like, oh my, I gotta move, because I don't know if this lady's getting out of bed or whatever. And then eventually I can move my body. So one other time this happened, and I was in a tent, and I woke up and I couldn't move my body, but I felt this big energy beside me. And I was just, this time I was in my power, and I was just like, get out right now. And all I could see was the tent flat door open flapping, and that was it. Whatever it was just gone. And then my mom was beside me in that. So my question is it, because I kind of intuitively got that it was because I wasn't totally in my body, I was still sort of in spirit form, that I couldn't move my body.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's a great question. I love it. And the image came through as Gulliver's Travels, with all the little things, how they pounding in the stakes and tying you down, right? So, but yes, when we are between levels coming back in, it feels like you can't move your body because you can't. So one of the things when you're out of body is if you try and move your body, you feel stuck because you don't have a physical body. So then you have to learn, if I want to move my body, I have to think of moving my body from here to here. And then when you think, you move there. Which is learning how to fly when you're in the other dimension. How do I fly? Well, you just fly, right? You just allow yourself to fly. So, but when you're coming back in, you're in this dimension, which is allowing you to move this way through your thought. And then all of a sudden you're between the two and coming into this body where the thought doesn't make your body work at all. It's your physical muscles. So you're between levels and the codes are mixed. And you think, oh my God, I can't move my body. Because you're not fully in your body yet. You're not embodied. You're still coming back in.
Well, there was a big difference too. Like that first time, it felt cold, really cold. And I really think
that's another entity messing with you.
Yeah. So I think
that's a different situation. That's the Gulliver Travel when somebody's trying to nail you down, right? So you can't move, right? And that's where you found your power and told them to F off. So yeah, so they're two different things, but they happen simultaneously or interconnected. So one you're between levels and got trapped in the sense of which muscles do I use? Am I using my brain to move or using my body? And the other was somebody trying to mess with you at that level. Because those beings that can mess with you interdimensionally when you're astral traveling out of your body are not the same beings that can mess with you when you're in the physical body. So you have to sort of drop them off. They can't harass you in the physical. At least that's my understanding.
Thank you. That's perfect.
So they're going to try and get their last messing with you before you get into your body.
Yeah. Great. Thank you. That was awesome.
You're welcome. Learning something new every time you ask me a question. Any other great questions out there?
I guess I would just say, because you're talking about different states, that I think we talked about this once in your show, that having bad dreams and so on and so forth. And one thing that I've started to do, which has been successful, is that I command and demand that I have these certain qualities of experience that are very high vibration and frequency. And I absolutely refuse to have dreams that involve low vibration frequency. And I've had to do this because I have woken up at night with my heart, if I have a bad dream, with my heart rate like through the roof, and I was in the hospital a month ago for that very reason. So I have just, and it's worked out so far. So,
Yeah,
and I do it before I go to sleep.
Yeah, I keep telling Laura, like, who's the boss? You know, if you don't be the boss, you're allowing somebody else to be the boss.
I got it now. I wasn't in the beginning. Well, you know, I had literally been attacked for so many years with no help from anyone, that when I was working and I was clearing other people, and anything bad that would happen, or like not bad, but like anything that might be of like, holy crap, is that something going to attack me again? I'd call him and I'd be like, Tyson. And he'd be like, Laura, you're fine. Who's the boss? And I was like, are you sure? Like, I just don't want this to happen again. I can't handle it. And then eventually, after months of like nothing happening, I got my trust back. And I was like, okay, nothing's going to happen anymore. I'm good. I'm good. And now I would say in the last, month, Tyson, I've really gotten back into my own power. At least that's what it feels like to me.
Yeah, she's just amazing. I mean, she just boots people in the butt with a loving kindness. But Linda, I like what you're saying. You can make those negotiations before you go to sleep. You can make those negotiations in every part of your life. So one of the ones I have is, if I'm going to be on the night shift, I call it the night shift, because sometimes it's busier on the other side than it is on this awake side. So sometimes I feel the third dimension is maybe the holiday planet, and I'm really doing the work on the other dimensions. So I've said to Spirit or God, look, if you're going to put me on the night shift, I have to wake up fully revitalized and full of energy to get through the day. That's the condition.
Right.
Otherwise,
Right.
leave me alone.
Mhm.
So it's really okay for you to be clear with upstairs, whatever upstairs is to you, about what are the conditions. And I mean, you can also say, you know, I want to fully remember my dreams as lucid dreams, so I know what the heck's going on. I don't want to have to deal with this misinterpretation coming back through the distorted levels. I want to be fully aware in my dreams. If you're going to use me, I should know what's going on. Now, I'm not there yet, but that's one thing you can work on, is having lucid dreams rather than distorted dreams, right? Because if we're going to learn something, why don't we just learn it rather than try and translate? I don't know about you, but I don't want to have to phone somebody and say, I had an owl in my dream and this and that, and I want to know what it means. Forget it, right?
Yeah, good point.
I want to know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll add that in.
Can
Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I interrupt? Speaking of animals and dreams, I had a big, fat, horrible crocodile in my dream last night.
Wow. Wow. Well, the one thing about crocodiles,
Just laying there.
yeah, they don't want you to mess with their little ones. They're probably the best mothers on the planet you could ever imagine. Nobody messes with a crocodile. So yeah.
Yeah.
And my sweetie here has crocodile energy, right? So when that comes out, you don't want to mess with the crocodile. Yeah, and in the Mayan terminology, the crocodile is very, very powerful gift of many, many energies. Are like, you don't mess with a crocodile. A crocodile is, you know, if you want to clear spirits, you want crocodile energy. It just, you know.
Okay, good.
It's a good energy. It's a good energy to have, right?
That's good.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah. But any other questions? Come on, there must be questions. Okay, Crystal.
I'd like some support with my situation with my brother. I called in last week and you checked his number and he was really low.
Yeah.
And I have been, you know, loving and praying from afar for my brother. He's quite a ways away. And yeah, I want to try to get him on the deep pendulum clearing. He's pretty avoiding family, you know, he just avoids.
Right.
That's what his end. That's what I do believe. It's a generational kind of a spirit that's attaching. I think I also believe that my mother was also impacted by the same, if not the same being, the same family of entities or beings, whatever this is.
So,
And I've been doing the Divine Mother and using a lot of the blue rain over him as much as I can. And yeah.
So what did we learn, Linda? Can you repeat what we did on the class that we, somebody asked the question, you know, what's the difference between doing it for somebody or doing it on your own or having them do it? Do you remember that?
Oh, yes, sure. The question was, when you use the deep clearing protocol, what is the difference of effect in percentages between you just doing it yourself, you doing it and name family members or people, or the person doing it for themselves? And you just doing it yourself, you are clearing 7 generations, 6 generations back, 6 generations future, and all your family at 75%. The next level is you include others, you name others, you get 100%. And the third level is if they do it themselves, they get 100% faster, quicker than if you're doing it for them.
Wow, well done. Thank you. So that's what we learned in class today, which I thought was really quite interesting because I'd never asked those questions before. So hopefully that helps you, Crystal. You know, you have a lot of energy just doing what you're doing. And if you know that, you can step into that energy and know that, yeah, it would be great to have him do it, learn how to do it, and he'll do it faster, but there's nothing wrong with what you're doing now. Does that help?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think I just need to get him. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, well, two or more in a family.
It confirms that I'm, you know, I'm doing what I can do.
Right.
Tyson, I think what I hear her saying that she's not really saying is that she'd like to have her brother be put into that like group healing.
All right, do you want him in the group healing?
But I want you to, I just want you to douse though,
I mean, I appreciate
Tyson, if it's even possible, because I don't believe that he's even in his body anymore. I don't believe it's him anymore. I think this Dr. No Good is taken over, and it's from, I'm wrong? Okay. That's
no,
cool.
I'm sorry.
I hope I am.
It's Reverend Do Wrong.
Oh, Reverend Do Wrong. Okay. I was like, I'm wrong? Okay, I hope I'm wrong. But I don't think so. I don't think he's there anymore. I think he's left. I think he's checked out. I think he's
you know, on the other still call him back if he's ready to come back, right? So let's just do.
That's what I want you to check on before we put him into this. I want him to come back. I just don't know if he will.
All right. So where are we with everybody? How are we doing for? We're just over an hour, but let's do a group clearing. Well, first of all, let me ask if there's any more questions, because I want to have everybody have an opportunity to ask questions. And I would encourage you, I'd love for all of you to join. It'll be so amazing to have these people in the class. So any questions about the class or any other information you'd like to know, then I'd like to then do a group clearing together, seeing that everybody's here, and you can throw whatever names in the hat. We'll just douse where they're ready to go, and we'll just use the last 5 minutes to do a group healing. And I'll run Divine Mother's energy of the blue rain of concentrated divine love. Okay.
Somebody ask a question so I can go get my pendulum.
All right. So any other questions from Debbie? Energy. I'll probably everybody. What did you say? Blah blah blah.
Okay, I have a question about
Yeah.
the class.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
whoops.
I
So
think.
the class meets 4 times a week for 1 hour. Is that right?
Yeah. It meets once a week for 1 hour. Yeah.
And are there like things that you do in between times?
Well, there's certainly Tony and Laura do. So I really would encourage you to do pairs, right? Or even triunes. So they get to practice and do buddy systems and set agendas with each other. The more you do that, I know Tony and Laura have great questions because they get into trying to figure things out, and then they come back to class and say, what about Tyson, this or that? Or they phone me or have a special session with me so I can help them get on track. So I really encourage people in the class to do a buddy system.
Okay. And so in the class, I mean, just trying to visualize this, you would learn certain protocols or certain clearing methods and so on and so forth, and then you kind of have an opportunity to practice them or apply them, and hopefully in partnership, and then you come back to class and share your experience. Is that how it goes?
Yeah, and for example, let me just show you, see if I can find the list really quickly of all the videos that you get to go through. Like Crystal actually had the list and had to send it back to me, but I don't know how many master dowsers are on that list. I think there's like 40 hours or more of master dowsers, and we just choose one. So like this week was Mike Doney, and he's all talking about water dowsing, and I got halfway through that. So the normal thing is watch Mike Doney, and then we'll talk about it. And then what did you learn from that? What did you like? What didn't you like? And for me, it's exciting because we're always picking up new techniques from that master dowser. And for me, even if I've heard them before, there's just always so much more to get from listening them to again. And a lot of them are really, well, Tony can attest to that. Most of them are so down to earth, ordinary cowboy, farmer, ranchers, salt of the earth, no fuss, no muss. Why are you making this so friggin' difficult? You know, my grandpa used to do it and I can do it, or I just learned this out of nowhere, or an angel told me how to do this. I mean, it's just it's so refreshing. This is no woo-woo stuff. This is just straight, honest to God, simple, straightforward people teaching from the heart. I love it. It just inspires me, right? Because I get sort of intellectual about all this shit. They just, keep it so simple. And it's so obvious when they go to teach you that they got it. It's in their bones. So I don't know. What do you think, Tony? You've got a lot from those, haven't you?
That's very true. Yeah, most of them are actually simple people, farmers, like you were saying, and they learned it from the parents who were dowsers before them, and the way they describe things is very simple, really simple. There's no theories or anything like that where things become very complicated. It's down to earth people that actually explain things in a very simple way, very effective. And when you see them dowsing, you cannot separate the instruments from the dowser itself. They're like one person. It tells you, they've been doing it for many, many, many years, and they're very successful, and I enjoyed watching all the videos, actually, very much so.
Yeah, I feel really gifted that we have some of them are terrible quality and the sound is rotten.
Right. Yeah.
I feel so gifted that we have this. I mean, the fact that we were in the generation where somebody actually was able to video them, right? So we get to, even if they're on the other side, we get to learn from them. And like I said in the class, Harold, is with us. I mean, literally, he's on Laura's and my team. We use his technique all the time. It's like, all right, Harold, help us out here, right? And so to me, that's exciting because we learned that the boundary between this and other dimensions is just arbitrary, right? Those that want to play will play with us. To me, that's exciting. Yeah. So there's
Absolutely.
videos to watch. There's I can't remember how big the manual is that we started with John's manual. Do you know off? Here it is. Distant Healing Manual. No, that's another one. Tony, do you happen to remember how big the Distant Healing Manual is? Is it 64 pages, or can you remember what it is?
Just about, yeah. As a matter of fact, I have it right here.
So we'll start with this manual, which is all done by John Living, very analytical, rational, and there's accompanying videos with it. So we'll start at a very rational level about why he's got these charts and why he created them. And we'll go through all the charts, learn how to use the charts. So really be part of encoding this into your system. And you can always go back to this if you get stuck, because these are charts you can use over and over again. So yeah, so there it is. So I think that's the booklet. What about the big one where the distant healing one? So that's another booklet of his. We have 3 booklets of his. The distant healing, I can't remember how many pages this is. I should have it in front. Oh, here it is. I try and make my library close to my desk so I can grab it. Here, I found it. So I put mine in a binder. Let's see here. Oh, it's quite big. Bigger than I remember.
It's about 100 pages long, actually.
Hi.
So the first part of
Hi.
it is
You can.
99 pages. And then the second part is having to do with allergies. And that's another 32 pages. Okay, so that will all be what we're starting with. And it's all full of charts and graphs and all, so, you know, colors and color healing and really detailed stuff, right? And we'll
Yeah,
go,
it's a great
it's a great thing to start with because it's very, very left
Mhm.
brain and I mean right brain is one of those brains. One of those brains I don't use very much. Analytical.
analytical.
Yeah, the analytical
Yeah.
one. And it helps us really focus in on asking really good questions and that we haven't even thought about. And if you just use this as a distant healing manual with your clients, you'll get fantastic results from just doing this, if nothing else. So that's how we start. Any other questions?
Thank you. Tony, what's that guy's name that keeps getting reinfected that you're working with? What's his last name? Eric. Is it Eric?
I'm talking about Eric, Brett, you mean?
Brett. Yeah. What's
Brett.
his last name? I'm
Lovin?
just trying to get everyone's name down.
Yeah.
Lovin. Yeah.
Brett Lovin, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, matter of fact, I'm meeting with him this
Okay.
afternoon. Yeah.
Okay.
Great. I think he should be included in the in this group, this
Okay.
clearing group. Yeah.
So we got an Eric Tucker. Did you see that?
Could you include my daughter in the clearing group?
Yeah, what's her name?
Angela May, M-A-Y, Aronson, A-R-O-N-S-O-N.
Okay. And
So I have a few more. Can I just give them to you?
yeah,
Matthew Hendricks,
yeah,
Kevin Hernandez,
yeah,
Annette Theodosin,
yeah.
Amy Crawford,
Yeah.
and then that is it. Dr. Do Wrong, honey.
Reverend.
Reverend.
So
Reverend, you're wrong.
The wrong? How do you
Thank-
spell that?
Reverend Do Wrong. Okay.
How do you spell that?
D-O-W-R-O-N-G. Reverend Do Wrong.
Okay. And then we have let me just see here.
Yep. I'm gonna look too, just to make sure.
Yeah, just gonna look through. Okay, Joseph Chavello. Okay, so anybody else?
I don't think so. Anyone that's like in that spot where they can't get out.
Okay, so let's me just douse and see if we
Oh,
got.
wait a minute. Wait a minute. You have one more.
Okay.
Remember that woman? You have her on your paper radionics. She was one of those people.
Oh, there's one.
Tony and I worked with her for a little.
And who is that? Can you remember? Elizabeth Randall.
Say your list.
Elizabeth Randall.
Elizabeth Randall.
Right.
And what's the other one?
Oh, there's another one. I'm trying to remember her name. Oh, Sarah. There's a Sarah.
Nope.
Well, there is, but anyway, Sarah. Let's see.
Tony, which is the one that we worked on from California? Remember, she was.
Michelle Fries.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
it. Yeah,
thank you.
right. Yeah.
Michelle Fries.
Yeah.
And then there's Sarah. But anyway, I know who Sarah is, so I don't need her name because I can focus in on it. All right, so I'm just gonna see if we got
Okay.
a couple minutes. I'm gonna do it all together. So just so you know what I'm doing is I'm taking the whole list and saying, are we good to go with this? And I'm getting a yes. Then if I got a no, then I would need to figure out why there's a no. But I got a good go of yes. And how strong is the go? It's 100%. Okay, so
Yeah, me too.
for those of you that have to go, feel free to go, and love for you to join this course. Those that want to stay, it'll be another 5 minutes or so. It's going to be a silent meditation. I'm going to run the divine energy of working with the blue rain of concentrated divine love. So, Lord, you want me to do it in silence, or you want to hear the words?
You do what you do. I'm gonna. I can do whatever you want. Do you want me to spin?
Yeah, you can spin. I'm going to do it silently. Okay. All right.
Yep.
So,
Perfect. Yep.
all right. So, but I'll start it off verbally. So I call on Divine Mother who comes to us with wholeness, totality, and truth. And we ask Divine Mother to call any other beings of light that like to assist us in this clearing of all non-beneficial energies from the following list that's in front of you, to clear any and all non-beneficial energies from their energy field throughout all time, space, and dimensions, throughout their matriarchal, patriarchal, soul family, star family, and family of origin lineages, through all timelines, past, present, and future. And dear Divine Mother, would you call any other beings of light that would like to participate in this clearing? And could we communicate directly with their souls and oversouls to help us bring these clearings down to the physical bodies of each one of the people on this list? And Divine Mother, could we begin to run the energy, divine energy of the balloon rate, a concentrated divine loves at the highest potential for each individual on this call, listening to this call in the future, and everybody on this list. And we'll begin to run the energy now. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being on the call today and joining us. And I hope you choose to join us as we do the next go around, 6-month go around for the Master Dowsing and Energy Healing Clearing protocols. And I'm just settling down now. I'm finding my way back to this plane. So I suggest as you come back to please have a drink of water to help ground yourself. And as I said, thank you for showing up and giving us this opportunity to explain this to you. And hopefully you're going to join us on the course. And until then, and you can get hold of Laura or myself for further details. And so thank you very much for showing up. So I'll say goodbye now. Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, Tyson Laura got dropped, so she just wanted me to let you know.
All right. All right. She had a birthday party and everything. So thank you, everybody.
Okay.
I actually appreciate working with you. The power of this group is palpable. I felt it like amazing. Hopefully you had a great experience yourself. Nothing like the group to bring about change and transformation on the planet. So I bless you all. Hopefully you join us. And if not, be healthy, wealthy, wise. Join us on the wellness show tomorrow. No, on Monday. Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye for now.
Bye.
Thanks, Tyson. Bye.
Bye.